Hi everybody, this is Matt, and welcome back to yet another Bulldog review. So today we are doing Bulldog review number 19, and it is Raya and the Last Dragon, the newest Disney movie to come out from Walt Disney's animation studio. So, how is this movie? Well, I think a lot of people are very uptight about this movie. And there's one reason why, because it's got that same style as Avatar: The Last Airbender. And as I was watching this, I'm like, okay, yeah, this looked very much like Avatar, because I remember when I first saw the trailer for this film, I remember there was a lot of comments saying that this is Avatar: The Last Airbender just for a Disney movie. They're not wrong. This movie is an Avatar movie, but it's very different. It's not like Avatar where it's just this, let's just say, like chapter by chapter. It's essentially one big narrative, and that's what really matters with Disney movies anyway. It's very magical, and it's very unique for a Disney movie like this. Now, over the past few days, I've seen Disney movies, over the past few years, I've seen Disney movies such as Mars Needs Moms that remind me a lot of certain things, and their narratives are pretty good, especially with films that Disney has done in conjunction with other things. So, for example, Mars Needs Moms. That film had the same animation style as the Polar Express. That is something that really, I think, was really cool. But then the narrative was very weak. Okay, it didn't really provide enough it was not very strong. It was pretty much plot holes everywhere. Raya and the Last Dragon. Okay, so this reminds me a lot of Avatar, like I said before. But it does it in a way that really is something unique. It's something special. And it really says a lot, because Disney has been doing a lot with these diverse backgrounds. So, for example, Moana from 2016 was in Hawaii. Frozen, which, God, Frozen is not one of my favorite movies, folks. It came out of inspired by Norway and Iceland. Here with Raya, it was more of a less leaning toward Cambodia and Southeast Asia, and I could see that influence throughout this film. I mean, there's a lot of great moments where that influence just shines, and I really enjoy that. It really is something special, because this movie is something that I never expected to be that good. I've expected Raya to be kind of the average Disney movie that, you know, it will be a little bit more of a musical than anything. Kind of like Frozen and Moana. But here, this is a narrative that, you know, didn't need to have singing and dancing. It just was a very, very thought out and very well executed story. Now, given the fact that this story does have some dark elements, so for example, one of the villains, the main villain is called the Droon, so it represents something very unique. And I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but it represents the darkness. And the darkness really is something that I think a lot of Disney movies have tried to do, but this one really hits it off the mark. It really does a good job with it. And then the idea of the dragons, you know, creating the whole world, that's actually a really true thing, because in ancient China, Japan, Cambodia, Vietnam, they all believe that dragons created something. And this world that we live in, they believe, is all created by these spiritual beings. That is essentially what's happening here. Also, given the fact, this film really, that cultural influence is going to shine very well. So that's one thing I put down. Another big thing that I put down is the characters. The characters in this movie are pretty fluid. And I'm not going to tell you no story. These characters are fluid. They are very well executed in this film. I mean, no doubt in my mind, this film is special, especially when it comes to the characters, because each character has their own personality. So, for example, the main character, Raya. I mean, she's this very serious and very adventurous character who, I'm not going to say in spoilers, but something happens to her at the beginning, and I'm not really going to tell you. But also, then you have the Last Dragon, Sisu. And the Last Dragon, I think, the dragon, Sisu, is very, very humorous. I think she's more of a comic relief in this film. Between that and, there's a little baby called, I think, there's a little baby, if you ever seen the trailer for Ryan Last Dragon, there's a little baby character, Fawn Baby. and I think she's one of the other basic comic relief in this film. And then, you know, Captain Boom, and then Hawk, I think his name, can't remember. But yeah, they all have a very similar story, but the characterization is very executable in many different ways. Raya and the Last Dragons, that's one of their biggest strong points of this film was the characterization. It really is fascinating to see all of these different plots all mesh together when they all cross paths. And then at the end, they just all come together to save the world. I mean, that is a very powerful thing. And this movie really has a lot of characterization that really says a lot, especially for a Disney film like this. Now, one of its main weaknesses is pacing. So, when I did Tom and Jerry last week, it's hard to believe, the pacing for that movie was pretty bad. Okay, it was very uneven pacing. It really just tried to do more of the comic gag relief. It tried to appeal more to kids. So it was that fast pacing, which that really just didn't need to be there. With Raya and the Last Dragon, this film is very even. There are times when the pacing will get kind of slow, which is a good thing, and then it gets faster as it builds up to the main climax, which that's what's happening here with Raya. Tom and Jerry, you just got this simple, and we move on, and we move on, and we move on. With Raya and the Last Dragon, it's like slowly building it up. See, that's the thing about Raya that I really like. It really is a very well-paced movie, while at the same time it tries to take into account the setting which is placed. And Raya is a very, very, very good story-driven film. I mean, this movie is more story-driven than comically-driven, and this is a great film, nonetheless. And you know, like I say, this film is very special. It's unique. It's one of the more special films that I have seen Disney do in a while. It's very, very good. Now, when I say it's for kids, you got to make your mind up on that, because this isn't Frozen, where it's a big old musical number for hour 52 minutes. This is more of a film that says, okay, so we're going to do something a little more serious here, and you kids need to pay attention, because this is a good film that I think y'all will enjoy, and I think you will too. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, there was a short film that played 10 minutes, it was like 10 or 12 minutes that played before Raya and the Last Dragon. It was called something, it was something called Onto Us. And that short film was pretty good too. It reminded me a lot of that idea of the young becoming the old and the old becoming the young. We're never too old to party. The short film that plays in front of Raya was very well made too. I really think that this is a great short film to play right before Raya, just because it sets that mood. And it sets that mood for Raya to become this really excellent story-driven movie rather than comically driven like Tom and Jerry. This is a great film, both story-wise, character-wise, setting-wise. It hits all the checkpoints. And it really is a special movie to me. Now, of course, some of you might be thinking, well, I have this 8-year-old kid and I want to see Raya. You make your judgment. It just depends on if you want to put your child through dark themes. But for this one, Raya and the Last Dragon is going to be more recommended for like ages 12 and up. If your child is 8 years old, take them to see Tom and Jerry. Give them a little more lighthearted laughter. But if you want something more serious, then definitely watch Raya. So with that in mind, I'm giving Raya a 9.5 out of 10. Well, actually, a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect score for me. This is a film that I think that has a lot of great potential for it to be a Oscar contender at that. This is one of those Disney films that is going to get a lot of buzz pretty soon as it hits theater. And critics already say it's a really good movie since it's a Disney classic. It's true. I mean, this is a film that really takes up to that Disney formula. So if you never heard the Disney formula, let me kind of tell you what that is. So at the beginning, it's very sad, very, very, very emotional, and then as it builds up, it gets this happy ending, and it really is a happy emotion. With the beginning, it's more of a sad emotion. At the end, it's more of a happy emotion. That's exactly the Disney formula, and they execute it very well, especially with Raya and Last Dragon. And they didn't try to do music and try to cultivate the thing. Just go right and force it out. So that's why I give Raya and Last Dragon a perfect 10. 2 thumbs up for me. A very wonderful film to watch, especially, you know, if you have kids 12 and up. If you have kids that are 8 years and old, I'm like, I don't think you're ready for this. Go and watch Tom and Jerry. But yeah, so that is it for my review on Raya and Last Dragon. I hope you guys have enjoyed this film and this movie review. If you have, please definitely leave a like in the comment and comment down below what movie review you want me to do. So, my 2021 watch list has been updated because of some recent changes due to the pandemic. Bob's Burgers is no longer going to be number 20. That won't no longer be my next movie review. I'm still trying to find something for number 20, but it'd be more likely the Earwig and the Witch, the newest Studio Ghibli film. And then number 21 would be Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway. Number 22 would probably be Cruella. That will be exciting. Number 23 I have right now is Luca, the newest Disney Pixar film, and I'm very excited to see how that's going to fit in because of all the diversity going around and it being set in Italy. Number 24 right now, I have Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. Number 25, that one's going to be a battle between Jungle Cruise and Hotel Transylvania 4. Just depends on how that goes. But also, I will give out a full list very soon in the community tab as soon as I figure it out. But yeah, keep a lookout for that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. See you guys. This has been Bulldog Reviews. Thank you guys for watching.